You're watching Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones, your fearless leader, here with you. Thanks for joining us. And I got a little challenge for you, folks. Patrick Siepman of Vikings Now. He says we can't get 500 likes on today's video. He has been talking a lot of smack ever since we took Sam Darnold away from the Vikings. He's been telling me that, hey, Sam is still our guy and all this, and it's just something I won't stand for. I said, Sapes, we will easily get 500 likes on today's video. We got the better ginger, not you. Prove him wrong, prove me right. Hit the like button on today's video, and we'll get started with this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. Welcome in. We are talking all about Sam Darnold today and how he stacks up with none other than Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes, the best quarterback in the National Football League, one of the greatest of all time. And now we are wondering, after a new discussion was put out there by Jamie Erdahl of the NFL Network, is Sam Darnold the man to take down Patrick Mahomes? Let's dive in a little further here. You know, I'm a big fan of Three Doors Down. I love the song Kryptonite. And never did I think that we would be having this discussion if Sam Darnold's super hands would be the ones to be Patrick Mahomes' kryptonite. But here we are, folks. NFL Media's Jamie Erdahl, co-host of Good Morning Football, believes that the most capable quarterback in the National Football League to take down Patrick Mahomes is not Josh Allen. It's not Lamar Jackson. It's not Joe Burrow. It's not Jalen Hurts, who we just saw do that. No, it's none other than new Seahawks quarterback Sam Darnold. Here's more what Jamie Erdahl had to say this morning on Good Morning Football. You got to be hardened, sometimes in the best way possible. You got to be like the entire world has been down and out on me, several franchises over, and Sam Darnold finally figured his business out in Minnesota last year. I'm not saying this Seahawks team could be the one to do it, but quarterback to quarterback, for some reason, I feel like Darnold could mess around and be like, I've seen worse. I've seen the bottomless pit that is the machine that the NFL critiques. And I think Darnold could do it. If anybody, I don't know why, like Jalen Hurts, I have no emotion about this. I'm just going to get the job done and be all business. I feel like Darnold has that in him. All right. So let's dissect what Jamie had to say. First off, that's a lot of rambling on the part of Jamie Erdahl. If you've seen the video of this, it even sounds weirder, her discussing this, and she pulls out like a cardboard cutout of Sam Darnold as well. It's a bit strange, I'll put it this way. Now, could he be the one to take down Patrick Mahomes? I mean, I guess he could be. I'll say this much. At the very least, it's a big vote of confidence in Sam Darnold. Whether it's accurate or not, okay, I do appreciate that Sam Darnold is getting this type of attention, that people are recognizing Sam and giving him credit where credit's due, even if it's not necessarily true. Personally, I wouldn't call him the most capable quarterback in the NFL of taking down Patrick Mahomes. We mentioned just some of the other names that are out there, like Jalen Hurts and Joe Burrow and Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, all these other guys that have been on much bigger stages than Sam Darnold has. We've seen Joe Burrow do it. We've now seen Jalen Hurts do it. All right, Josh Allen's come very close. Lamar Jackson's come very close. We have not even seen Sam Darnold come close to that stratosphere to be in that discussion with those guys as far as being the one to take apart Patrick Mahomes. And here's the bottom line, too. Even though I'm a big believer in Sam, and I'm excited that he's here, the sample size has been up and down. He had a breakout season last year in Minnesota. But also, we have to take two steps back for a moment and remember his last two starts in the biggest games of the year for the Minnesota Vikings in 2024 were horrendous. Not all his fault, might I add, against the Detroit Lions and the Los Angeles Rams. The offensive line didn't do him much favors in either game. But it was not good, and Sam does hold some blame for that. And arguably what was the two biggest games of his career to that point. All time, Darnold has an 0-2 record against Patrick Mahomes. Granted, none of them have been big games by any stretch of the imagination, but I just don't see what Jamie is referring to. Do I want to believe it? Yes. Do I think it's reality? No. I want to know, what do you think of what Jamie Erdahl said? Is Sam Darnold, of all quarterbacks in the NFL, the biggest threat to take down Patrick Mahomes? Type HY for hell yes, HN for hell no. Chime in the comments section and let us know. Now, let's make the case for Sam Darnold. Let's go over the nitty-gritty, the numbers and the resume and all that. Here's a fact, okay? Sam Darnold had a better season than Patrick Mahomes did in 2024, statistically speaking. Now, that doesn't tell the full story, of course, okay? Mahomes had a depleted offensive line. His receiving core was banged up, was without Rashee Rice most of the year, was without Hollywood Brown, didn't have much of a run game as Isaiah Pacheco got banged up. Meanwhile, Sam Darnold was getting to play with the best receiver in the league in Justin Jefferson, a really solid receiver in Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, and all that, okay? But just statistically speaking, Darnold had better yards, more touchdowns, interceptions were pretty close, and the quarterback rating was significantly better for Sam Darnold than it was Patrick Mahomes. But even with that said, no one is mistaking these two. Now, you can go all the way back to 2019 when Colin Cowherd said that Mahomes is going to be the best quarterback of this generation and Sam Darnold is going to be right there behind him. But he's about the only person, he and Jamie, now are the only ones that have put these two within the same sentence at this point, okay? Now, let's go into a little perspective. This is what we're talking about when we say that Sam Darnold, I say we, when Jamie says that Sam Darnold is the guy that's best equipped to take down Patrick Mahomes. Here's what you're talking about going up against. A three-time Super Bowl champion, a three-time Super Bowl MVP, two-time league MVP, six-time Pro Bowler. The resume is off the charts. I think he's the most talented quarterback of my lifetime. I think that he's got the best shot of any quarterback I've ever seen to pass up Tom Brady and go down as the quote-unquote GOAT. All right? This isn't just anybody we're talking about here. We're talking about Patrick damn Mahomes. And he's still got plenty of football left in him. Meanwhile, you look at Sam Darnold, former number 2 overall pick, selected to his first Pro Bowl campaign last year, was named by the Pro Football Writers Association as the most improved player in the league. It was a very good year for Sam Darnold last year. But that was 1 year of good film compared to a whole plethora from Patrick Mahomes. If Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL and had a career-ending injury tomorrow, he would already be a first-ballot Hall of Famer, okay? That's the comparison that is being made. For me, while I appreciate the compliment from Jamie Erdahl here, this reminds me of when Max Kellerman, former ESPN employee who was on First Take, or as I call it, Worst Take, said he would take Andre Iguodala over Steph Curry to take the final shot in a game for the Golden State Warriors when they were in the midst of their dynasty. And everybody heard that and was like, oh, Max, Iguodala's good. He's not Steph Curry. That's what I feel like we're doing here. If we're saying that Sam Darnold right now is the guy to take down Patrick Mahomes, you might as well give the ball to Andre Iguodala over Steph Curry and take that last shot. That's how insane that sentence is to say. I appreciate the compliment, but come on. It's like telling a fat chick she's the most beautiful woman in the bar. Nobody really believes it. Thanks, but we know you don't mean it. Or your vision is very screwed up. Pick a quarterback. Who would you rather have? God, I can't believe we're even having this discussion. Sam Darnold or Patrick Mahomes? Type SD for Sam Darnold. I like Sam too. This is what pains me about this segment. I really do like Sam, but we're already having this. Can we see a playoff win first? Type SD for Sam Darnold. Type PM for Patrick Mahomes. Let me know. Now, we're comparing the two. Patrick Mahomes does almost everything better than Sam Darnold. When you talk about the skill set and when you say that Sam is the guy to take down Patrick, well, you got to find some things that could separate him, and there's just not a whole lot. There is one thing, though, when we look back last year, specifically speaking, that Sam Darnold did do better than Patrick Mahomes, and if they were to face off head-to-head in a Super Bowl or a meaningful game, could be a difference. Did you know, folks, Sam Darnold was first in the NFL last season when he was with Minnesota in passing yards off of 20-plus yards in the air. He had 1,183 passing yards. But, of course, you had to take into account who he had to work with. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, T.J. Hockenson, and all that. That was way better than the skill positions that Kansas City had. Meanwhile, Patrick Mahomes, in that same statistic, was 26th in the NFL in passing yards off of 20-plus yards attempts through the air, 462 yards. And then you also have to think about, too, that because of Patrick Mahomes' arm strength, defenses adjust more where they play the 2 and 3 high safety looks against him compared to every other quarterback in the league because they don't want Patrick Mahomes to beat them over the top. So that's another thing you have to take into account. Now, to Sam's credit, as far as even belonging in the conversation with Patrick Mahomes, there is another thing that you got to give Donald credit for. He and Mahomes are two of just 8 quarterbacks all time in the history of the National Football League to have 14-plus wins and 4,000 passing yards in the same regular season. That was a very good starting point for Sam Darnold. But there's a ways to go. Let's slow down a little bit, all right? I feel like I've been one of the biggest cheerleaders for Sam Darnold, that I've been in his corner. But when I hear something like this, I'm like, let's put the brakes for a second. I am the voice of reason here, and I think everybody needs to settle down for a second. Sam is not a bad quarterback. He's not an elite quarterback yet either, but he can be. But let's calm down. Show me something, Sam. Just show me a little bit more. I believe, and I think we're going to see more, but let's simmer down a little bit. Simmer down, folks. If you enjoyed today's show, you want to stick it to Patrick Siepman, you already know what to do. Hit that like button. We certainly appreciate it. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time here on Seahawks Today.